When I first moved into a nursing home, I believed I was doing the right thing. I thought I was choosing safety, community, and support. But now, years later, I realize I was wrong in ways I never expected. If you're considering this move for yourself or a loved one, I urge you, watch this video until the end. What I'm about to share could change the way you see your golden years. This isn't just another list of complaints. These are hard truths that many older adults experience but rarely talk about. If you've been wondering, will I be okay in a nursing home? Or is this really the best choice for me? This video is for you. Before we get into the first truth, leave a comment below. Have you ever seriously considered moving into a nursing home? Or maybe you already have. Share your experience. I read every comment, and so do many others who need guidance. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you care about honest conversations about aging. This channel is a place for wisdom, truth, and connection. Now, let's start with the first hard truth I learned, one I wish someone had told me before I signed the papers. Hard truth number 1. You lose more independence than you expect. One of the biggest misconceptions I had before moving into a nursing home was about independence. I told myself, sure, I'll give up some control, but I'll still be my own person. I couldn't have been more wrong. In the beginning, everything seemed organized. Meals on time, scheduled activities, assistance when needed. But soon, I began to feel like a passenger in my own life. Want to take a shower at 9 p.m. instead of 7 p.m.? Sorry, that's outside the schedule. Craving a snack at midnight? Not possible, the kitchen's closed. Even small choices, like when to go outside or which clothes to wear, became part of someone else's routine, not mine. What really hit me wasn't just the structure. It was the slow erosion of personal agency. I remember asking for help to call my granddaughter because I didn't have access to my own phone line. I had to wait until the staff had time. It seems small, right? But it's those little things, making a private call, adjusting the temperature in your room, deciding when to nap, that make you feel human. When they're gone, something inside you starts to shrink. Of course, every facility is different, and some places do better than others. But the reality is, when you move into a nursing home, you trade freedom for care. And sometimes, that trade is too steep. No one tells you how much of your identity is wrapped up in your choices, until those choices are no longer yours. I began to see how routines replaced autonomy, how being cared for sometimes felt like being managed. The staff meant well, but the system wasn't built for individuality. It was built for efficiency, and that came at a cost. And here's the hardest part. Regaining independence once you lose it is not easy. If you're someone who's always valued doing things on your own terms, please think carefully before giving that up. Let me ask you this. What's one small freedom you cherish every day? Maybe it's walking to the mailbox or choosing what you eat for lunch. Leave it in the comments. Let others see the little things we so easily take for granted. If this resonates with you, stick around for the next hard truth. It gets even deeper. And if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button, because you deserve to hear the whole story, not just the brochure version. Hard truth number 2. Loneliness doesn't disappear, it changes shape. Before I moved into a nursing home, I thought loneliness came from being alone. I figured that once I was surrounded by people, staff, other residents, activity coordinators, that feeling would fade away. But I learned something painful. Loneliness isn't always about being alone. Sometimes, it's about being unseen. In my first week, I met dozens of new faces. People smiled, greeted me by name, and introduced me to bingo nights, movie screenings, and hallway conversations. It all looked so social. But over time, I began to notice a different kind of silence. One that creeps in even when you're in a room full of people. The truth is, most conversations in nursing homes stay at the surface. How's your day? Did you sleep well? What's for lunch? Polite, pleasant, but rarely personal. The deep, soul-filling connections I craved. The ones where someone knows your story, your pain, your joy, those became harder and harder to find. And don't get me wrong, there are good people here. But the environment isn't built for emotional intimacy. People come and go. Residents pass away. Staff members change shifts. and you start to feel like a name on a clipboard instead of a person with a lifetime of memories. I felt like I was fading, not physically, but emotionally. Phone calls from family became less frequent. Grandchildren grew up and got busy. My old neighborhood friends stopped visiting as often, and eventually, the silence wasn't just around me, it was inside me. If you've ever sat in a room with others and still felt completely alone, you'll understand what I mean. In a nursing home, it's not the absence of people that hurts. It's the absence of connection. Now I want to hear from you. What do you do to stay emotionally connected to others? Is it writing letters, making regular calls, or something else entirely? Share your way in the comments. Someone out there might be looking for a new way to feel seen. And if you're finding this video helpful, or even just thought-provoking, click the like button. It helps more people find this conversation, and trust me, we need to talk about this more. Because pretending that everything's fine doesn't make the loneliness go away. Facing it does. Next, we're going to talk about something few people are willing to admit. Something that surprised me the most after I moved in. So stay with me. Hard truth number 3. Your health can decline faster than you expect. Here's something no one warned me about. Something that took me by surprise and hit harder than I could have imagined. After moving into the nursing home, I thought my health would stabilize. I expected regular meals, medication reminders, and trained staff to help me stay strong. But what I didn't expect was how quickly my physical and mental health would begin to slip. Not from illness, but from the environment itself. When you live in your own home, you have to move. You walk to the mailbox, reach up to the top shelf, water the plants, sweep the floor. These little actions may not seem like much, but they add up. They keep your muscles working, your coordination sharp, your brain engaged. In a nursing home, almost everything is done for you, even when you're capable of doing it yourself. I remember asking if I could help fold my own laundry. The staff smiled and said, "That's what we're here for." At first, it felt like a luxury. But within weeks, I noticed my hands felt stiffer. My legs got tired faster. I was moving less, thinking less, doing less. And slowly, I became less able to do the very things I had once insisted on doing myself. There's a term for it: learned helplessness. When you're surrounded by systems that encourage dependence, your body and mind begin to adapt. But not in a good way. Muscles atrophy. Memory weakens. Confidence fades. I saw it in myself, and I saw it in others. Some residents who walked in with walkers ended up in wheelchairs within months. Not because they got sicker, but because they stopped moving. Even mentally, the decline was real. Without fresh challenges or responsibilities, days blend together. You stop trying to remember things because there's nothing urgent to remember. You stop setting goals because you're not expected to have any. And slowly, the mind that once solved problems, managed a family, or ran a business begins to dim. I say this not to scare you, but to wake you up. If you're considering a nursing home, ask yourself, how will I stay active? How will I push myself to keep moving, keep thinking, keep living? Because if you don't ask these questions now, you might not be able to ask them later. Tell me in the comments, what's one thing you do to stay physically or mentally sharp? Maybe it's walking every day, doing puzzles, reading books, or even just calling a friend. Share your strategy. Someone watching this might desperately need a new idea. And if this message resonates with you, if it hits a little too close to home, don't just sit with it. Click that like button. This video might help someone else realize what's really at stake before it's too late. We're almost there. The final hard truth is perhaps the most emotional, and it has everything to do with how we spend the last chapter of our lives. Don't go anywhere. Hard truth number 4. You start to feel forgotten, even by those who love you. I never imagined I would feel invisible to the people I love most. When I moved into the nursing home, I told myself, this is just a transition. My family will still visit. We'll stay close. I believe that because love doesn't just disappear. But here's the harsh truth. While you're adjusting to a new life behind these walls, the world outside keeps moving, and sometimes it moves on without you. At first, the phone rang often. My daughter called every few days, my grandson came by on weekends, and I even got letters from an old friend back home. But slowly, so slowly I didn't notice it at first, those calls came less often. Visits were delayed, then missed. Holidays passed with a card instead of a hug. And before I knew it, I became something people scheduled around, not someone they made time for. And it's not always out of neglect. Life is busy. My kids have jobs, grandkids have school, people get tired. But knowing that doesn't make the silence easier. Every missed visit chips away at your sense of belonging. Every unanswered call feels like another brick between you and the people who once made you feel alive. The nursing home tries. They organize holiday events, decorate the halls, even bring in volunteers to cheer us up. But it's not the same. You can't replace your people with activities. You can't substitute tradition with convenience. One Christmas, I sat by the window and watched other families arrive. Laughter filled the hallways as kids ran down the corridors, holding gifts and cookies. I waited by the elevator for my family. I told myself they were just running late. They never came. I don't share this for pity. I share it because no one tells you how painful it is to feel forgotten when you're still very much alive. The world doesn't intend to forget you. It just does. And if you don't prepare your heart for that, it can break you. So here's my question to you. What do you do to stay in touch with loved ones? What has helped you stay connected, even from a distance? Share it in the comments. Someone watching might need your idea more than you know. And if you're watching this and haven't called your mom, your dad, or that relative in a care home, do it today. Don't wait for the right time. The right time is now. If this truth hit you hard, like it hit me, please click the like button. Let's spread this message to others who might be making the same decision I made, so they do it with eyes wide open. Coming up, we'll wrap things up with what I've learned from all of this, and what I'd do differently if I had the chance. Stay with me for the conclusion. Looking back, I don't regret seeking help. I regret not fully understanding what I was giving up in return. Moving into a nursing home changed my life, not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually. It taught me that safety can come at the cost of freedom, that loneliness can exist in crowded rooms, and that being cared for is not the same as being seen. If I could go back, I would ask harder questions. I would explore other options first, like living with family, hiring in-home care, or even creating a shared living space with friends. There are more paths than we're often told. So to you watching right now, think deeply, plan wisely, and most of all, don't let your voice fade. You deserve a say in how your story unfolds. If this video touched you, please leave a comment below. What's one thing you wish someone had told you sooner about aging or elder care? And finally, subscribe for more real conversations about growing older with dignity, courage, and truth. This channel is here for you because your life still matters. Your wisdom still matters. You still matter.